Hi Pisces, welcome to Buddy Tarot. This is your love reading for April 2026. This is a general reading, so it doesn't matter if you're single or with someone. In the spiritual realm, we are all going through similar experiences regardless of our relationship status. So having said that, let's jump right in and see what messages we have for you. Universe, what does Pisces need to know? What is Pisces ready to know for April 2026? What messages do we have for Pisces in love? Alright, Pisces. At the heart of the reading, we have the Nine of Cups. Crossing this energy, we have the Eight of Swords. In your focus, we have the Seven of Swords. In your distant past, we have the Magician. In your recent past, we have the Knight of Swords. A lot of swords. In your immediate influence, we have the Hierophant. How you see yourself in this reading is the Six of Swords. What you may not be seeing is the Four of Swords. In your hopes and fears, we have the King of Cups. And for your potential outcome, we have the Three of Pentacles. Alright, Pisces, let's start your reading. So, we have the Nine of Cups in the heart and the Eight of Cups that is crossing you. So this is telling me that a wish of yours is going to come true, Pisces, but you could be overthinking it at this time. Like, is this going to happen or is this not? The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment because it's all about our emotions being in alignment with what it is that we want. But the Eight of Swords could be, coming in the way because the Eight of Swords is overthinking, and this can be anti-productive when it comes to manifesting what you want, because in the distant past you did initiate something and you're still working on it, but the Eight of Swords is kind of coming in the way. So let's clarify. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. What is Pisces wishing for? We have the Temperance here. So I can see, Pisces, that you wish for harmony, you wish for balance, for understanding, for compromise between you and someone. The Temperance energy is about meeting halfway. You see the sign here. So it's like two energies coming halfway to be balanced. In the original card, we have two cups. So this is about you and someone coming to a compromise in a harmonious and peaceful way. You're also being very patient through this situation. You wish to be patient so that a compromise can be reached between you and your person. Now let's look at the Eight of Swords that is crossing you. Why is the Eight of Swords crossing this energy? What is Pisces overthinking about? We have the High Priestess that's coming out. So the High Priestess is about your inner voice, Pisces, and you may not be listening to your intuition at this time, because your intuition is trying to tell you that the compromise or whatever it is that you want, the goal that you want, will be achieved. But by overthinking this or going back and forth, you may be ignoring your intuition. The High Priestess is oftentimes about being silent. The High Priestess is when we quiet down the outer noise and all the voices telling us different things around us, so that we can listen to the inner voice. It's selective listening and basically listening to our intuition. It's about inner knowing rather than outer it's about inner authority and knowing rather than outer validation. So you really got to trust your intuition at this time, Pisces. We have the Seven of Swords in your focus. So this could be a strategy. This could be a strategy that you have. I'm not sure, Pisces. We have, okay, so we have the Five of Wands and the Hermit that fell out as soon as I shuffled the deck. So I can see, Pisces, that you don't want to have a confrontation with someone, okay, because in the recent past that is what might have happened with the Knight of Swords. uh, what has so we'll get to this in a bit, but with the Seven of Swords in your focus, you're kind of trying to handle the situation silently. The whatever your strategy is, your person may not be fully aware of what you're planning, or vice versa. And this is because perhaps you, your person, or the both of you kind of want to avoid any conflict. I can see, if I, let's just assume this is you, Pisces, because this is your focus. So with this, but you could be focused on someone avoiding you as well. So but the point is, this avoidance is coming not from a malicious place, but it is coming from a place of I don't yet know how to handle this transparently. That is why we have the Hermit. Now the Hermit is looking into the Five of Wands. So like the Seven of Swords is like a short term strategy, because the Hermit, is like a car. Like imagine a car on a highway and it's dark, and the headlight of the car is only lighting up a few feet ahead of the car, not the entire distance, the entire road, the entire highway. So the Hermit is something like that. So you're right now, you could be isolating, you could be withdrawing your energy, focusing on your inner counsel and guidance, because we have the High Priestess and the Hermit. So this is when the Five of Wands is like when there's a clash of intentions between you and your person. In the original Hermit card, the wand is upright, so you don't want to fight. The Seven of Swords is coming up here because you don't have, right now you're just trying to deal with the situation low key and just do away with any clashes. And perhaps you will get that clarity that you need, because we have the Four of Swords in the position that you're not seeing. So there's nothing to worry about with the Seven of Swords. This is just coming from a place of the ability to the inability, or feeling disempowered to handle the situation openly and directly. Now in the distant past, you had the Magician. So an initiation, a starting of a new chapter, active, very proactive energy. What is this that Pisces initiated in the distant past? We have the Empress. This is connected to, this is the person that you directed your energy towards, someone you love. The person is showing up as feminine, so you could be the masculine, or it's irrelevant. You could be the feminine, and you could have activated divine feminine energy within yourself. But this is all about love. Now in the recent past, something was very fast and chaotic. Something happened very quickly, which is very different to the Seven of Swords, because this is very upfront, bold and direct, and this is, the focus is now to be low-key. So what was this Knight of Swords, this fast-moving energy in the recent past for Pisces? What was this fast-moving energy for Pisces in the recent past? Knight of Swords. We have the Five of Swords. All right. So this was an argument or some sort of a heated confrontation between you and your person. you know, the Five of Swords is when it is a personal, it can sometimes be a personal challenge because we are not seeing the truth. It can, in a relationship, it can be a communication problem because the person in front of us is not able to see our truth, or we are not able to trust the intentions or the person in front of us at face value. But there was some sort of disagreement, some hurtful things might have been said, there might have been some blockages in communication, and how this was solved was with a sudden confrontation. Like either you or your person might have confronted each other, or the both of you, about, like, hey, what's going on, like, I'm not cool with this, this is not, this is making me doubt what intentions you have for me, and holding these Two of Swords, there might have been a decision that you and your person, like, there were some blockages. The Two of Swords is usually being at a crossroads because something hurtful is happening here in the Five of Swords with the Three of Swords here. Excuse me. Now we have the Hierophant in the immediate influence. So let's look at the Hierophant. This is a high level commitment. What is this commitment about for Pisces? What's the Hierophant for Pisces? We have the Hanged Woman. So the Hanged Man or the Hanged Woman. So over here, Pisces, in the immediate influence, this connection, it may be at a standstill. There may be a pause. And this is because the universe wants you to see something, wants your person to see something. The both of you perhaps need to see something. There is something that needs to be understood in this connection for this connection to move forward. The Hanged Woman is sometimes just being, we are being, not doing anything, but we are observing. And I'll tell you why this is working in your favor, because from the Five of Swords in the recent past, and the Five of Wands and the Seven of Swords in your focus, and the Eight of Swords in your crossing energy, you're seeing yourself as the Six of Swords. And this is because of this hangman, hanged woman energy. This is the blessing in disguise, the limbo, the pause. Because what is happening is, from the Five of Swords in the recent past to the Six of Swords in how you see yourself, Pisces, you are no longer arguing, you're no longer arguing with the reality. There is an acceptance of the way things are. And in this acceptance of reality, it is leading to emotional strength and maturity, which is there in your hopes and fears. So it's moving in the right direction, Pisces. You've just got to trust. You've got to trust the pause. Sometimes we trust the flow, and sometimes we've got to trust the pause. So the Six of Swords is how you see yourself. So you're in complete acceptance of the way things are, and you want peace, and you want to come to a decision, a state which is good for you and your person, for the both of you. We have the Queen of Wands. So you're taking action about this. This is not just about clarity in thought and acceptance in a mental level. This is also doing what you need to do to kind of accept the situation for what it is. Some of you could be traveling, you could be moving. This is ascension, basically. So if you're not like literally physically climbing something, this is like spiritual ascension. The Queen of Wands is also all about knowing yourself, because this is the fire, the fire is our passion. Which direction do we want to direct our fire? You want to direct your fire towards ascension, towards peace with you and your person, or within yourself, whatever is your definition of peace. With the Seven of Swords here, you might actually want to get away from this situation, but it is a love reading and I don't want to make assumptions. You might want to get away from this person, I'm not sure, but with the immediate influence with the Hierophant, you are committed. So this could be a temporary break that you're looking at. In the energy that you may not be seeing is the Four of Swords. So this is a need to rest. And perhaps, Pisces, the universe wants you to direct your energy towards non-action rather than maybe with the Seven of Swords here. And in what you're not seeing, you have the Seven of Swords in your focus. With the Four of Swords in the position of what you're not seeing, perhaps the universe wants you to take a break. Pisces, also maybe you might think that you have a strategy and you're going to you have a plan, but with the Four of Swords, maybe the universe is just going to make you take a break, especially with the Hanged Woman in the immediate influence. This is going to be a blessing in disguise, but this could also be the person you're dealing with. So what's the Four of Swords? You're going to be very zen if you're not feeling that already, especially with the Eight of Swords crossing you. This is half the stress and worry. So your anxiety, stress, worry, overthinking is about to be halved, literally. What is the Four of Swords for Pisces? We have the Page of Coins. So this is connected to news. This could be a message related to money or to something related to payment. But I feel like the Page of Coins here, because it's a love reading, it's about not something new but doing something in a new way. And the universe is telling you that if you meditate, and meditation is all about being present, because the Seven of Swords is kind of calculative, looking at the past and moving towards the future. But this is more about being present, the here and now. Should you meditate and, just let your thoughts be rather than directing them in a certain way, you will find the inspiration to do this or start over in a new way. With the same person, with a different person, as you wish. Pisces, the King of Cups is in your hopes and fears. So emotional strength and maturity is what you're hoping for. This is also love. This could be a person you're dealing with. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. What is the King of Cups doing in Pisces, hopes and fears? We have the Knight of Wands. So movement in love. You want movement in love. You want to move towards some of you could be wanting to move towards someone you love. There could be a fear about love. There could be a fear about having to move away from someone or someone moving away from you, because we have the Three of Coins in the potential outcome. This is sometimes a work card, or it is an energy of you working with someone or your person. So what is the Three of Coins for with the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups in your hopes and fears? You could be hoping for something to, emotionally, you could be hoping for something to stabilize rather than be like in and out. Like you could be hoping for movement towards emotional growth and a relationship, overall positive movement in a relationship. You could be fearing that it may not happen. Let's look at the Three of Coins in your hopes and fears. What is this energy tied up with Pisces? What is this about, the Three of Coins for Pisces in the potential outcome? We have the Ten of Wands. Ooh, Pisces. What do we have underneath the deck? The King of Swords, the Page of Wands. Pisces, you may decide to do something over, but with the Three of Coins and the Ten of Wands in the potential outcome, I want to tell you is that you're going to be like potentially, if you do not make the rules clear, if you with the Seven of Swords here, if you're trying to make peace and not ruffle any feathers, like if you, like it's better to be sure about delegation when it comes to who is going to play what part, because you might, with the 10 of Wands, you might receive the short end of the stick, so right at the start with the Page of Wands and the King of Swords, you got to make boundaries very clear, and yeah, like with this King of Swords, be direct rather than don't try to please. This is not the time to be pleasing anybody. You got to be direct about what you're cool with and what you're not, because otherwise it might turn out to be back-breaking later on. But it's a potential outcome. This is the benefit of tarot. That is how we can empower ourselves with tarot. Yeah, Pisces. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Most importantly, thank you for your time. And I will catch you again soon later. Bye.